Hi, Nancy.
Hi. I did get a chance to watch a bit of The Clearing, and I'm hooked. It left me, and after the, I got to watch the first three episodes, and I'm dying to know what happened.
That's good.
Good to
So you'll
know.
have to. So I will not spoil it. But I am curious because this is a crime thriller. However, similar events can happen in real life. So what's your take on that aspect?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a lot of dark cults both in Australia and throughout history, and I think that this show has taken inspiration both from that and also from the book In the Clearing by JP Palmare. And I think it's a really interesting blend of that kind of gelling together, what with the author's writing and the writers of the show. It's created a really interesting psychological gripping thriller, and I'm very grateful to have played my character in it, being a child in the cult and kind of seeing that through her eyes. But yeah, I think it'll definitely be relatable for some people out there, which is why I think it's one to watch.
Totally. Like that's the hook that you describe. It's, like myself, I'm a junkie for crime thrillers, especially true crime. And coming into this, I sort of I found myself just watching everything available online about cults around the world. So the brilliance about this piece is it's recognizable to all those cults. You can find kind of similarities to everything. Of course, it's very local to a similar true story in Australia, but that's the kind of that's the great thing about a cult thriller. Everyone loves it, and you recognize it, and we've, our story, as fictional as it is, it's quite familiar, and that's the scary thing about it. What people are going to love.
Very much so. So you mentioned right now it's based on a novel. It is. So how is it for you guys that you make your own character yours and not the novel? Did you read
Yeah.
the novel?
When I was preparing to play Amy, I didn't actually read the novel. I, definitely had a look at the structure and the type of character she was. But I wanted to keep it quite original to the series while also maintaining elements of the character from the book. So yeah, I just tried to keep it fresh. I tried not to, do much research just personally. And I found that, when I got on set and I put on the wig and I was in the costume, I found that Amy just found me. And when working with such talented cast members, you really get a sense for the character, especially with, the amazing scripts that we had and the incredible writing of, Matt Cameron and Elise McCready. And yeah, I think it was a really interesting character to just let happen.
The character of Joe was purely fictionalized and created for the drama series, for the TV series, which I think was a masterstroke from Elise and Matt. I did read the novel. The novel is, it's a page turner. It's an amazing thriller, and it jumps these time frames, and you don't quite know, who you're following or what you're following, or characters aren't really who they seem to be at first, and those kind of thriller tricks and are what's been adapted beautifully into the screen, but then maybe more so because with an 8-part series, you can really kind of lean into, you can generate out of the thriller and the drama. So it's as much a page turner as the book was, but we've taken a lot of creative license to make the TV experience even better.
Julia, you're a young actress. So what challenges did you face during the shooting of the series?
Yeah, well, it's obviously quite heavy content for my character, as you've seen the first three episodes. She always seems to be, being abused. And there's just a lot that goes on with the weight on her shoulders from being, I guess, the chosen one, from Maitreya or Adrienne. And I think that it was definitely challenging just thinking about, playing a character like Amy. There's really no structure to base her on, and she's very, she's a very anxious character, but she's also got that maternal aspect with the children. But yeah, I think that there wasn't a real challenge. I found a real ease with Amy, as well as working with other cast members, because I think that when you're in that environment with such a heavy script, being able to gel well with other cast members and having that light banter off camera, really makes it work well. But I say this as a challenge, but it really was quite cold where we were filming. I was always shivering. But yeah, and also letting go of my wig at the end of shooting was very challenging.
But what you do amazingly with Amy is you bring like this amazing sense of love and
Thank you.
goodness to, you actually love the Maitreya, and you love the family and the children around you, and that's where kind of tragedy lies. And I think it's kind of a genius and a masterstroke in your performance.
Thank you.
That's really what's at play here. Like, you want the approval of your mother, but it's an abusive relationship, so
Yeah.
you see the wrong in it and you act on it. So as much as I like to say Joe's the only good guy, it's like, no, you're the original good guy, because you create the catalyst that brings the story. So
Thank you.
it's so beautifully
Yeah,
done.
she's a very complex character.
Yeah.
Kind and cruel at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Ah, see that reference there? That was
Yes, I remember that. I watched.
yeah.
So I will have a juicy question I've been wanted to ask. So I sense there's a backstory with Frey. What can you talk about? What can you share about your relationship with her?
For Joe, he's he's a cop on a case, but he sniffs there's something more to it. So he really he gets quite obsessed by it. Like, I feel like the relationship with Freya, is that what you're asking? The relationship with Freya is, it is paternal. I think he kind of finds himself caught up emotionally and personally in the wrongs of what he's seen, and that's kind of that's dangerous territory for a cop to start caring too much. And it like there's a bit of a savior complex in him and in that, and I always kind of recognized in him wanting to redeem something lost in his childhood, being a son of migrants and coming from whatever tragedies he might have had to come from, to try and redeem and appease those sensations in him through his helping of Freya. So it's a beautiful father-daughter love story that at play that takes him to an extreme that he probably didn't know he was going to go to.
That's beautifully put.
So thank you. I like I said, I have to keep watching to get the full details. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
lots of surprises.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I
Thank
apologize
you. Yeah, it's
for
nice
bad
chatting with you, Nancy.
reception. I'm in the middle
No,
of
of
a
course
meeting,
not.
but I wanted to
Thank you
take the
so
time to
much.
speak to you. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh,
That's
it was
really,
lovely. It's been an
really
honor.
lovely. Great
Thank
to
you
meet
so
you. Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
All the
Bye-bye.
best.
Good luck.
Enjoy.